Going into every season, we always ask the same question repeatedly year after year when it comes to Miami. Is this the year that the U is finally back? Can they finally build off success? Because since the early 90s and the early 2000s, Miami has been unable to build off successful seasons. When you look at their last couple of head coaches since Larry Coker, it's been the same rinse, wash, and repeat cycle. You'll have a year when you win 9, 10 games, and then you regress the year after. Randy Shannon went 9-4 in 2009, and then he followed that up with the 7-5 campaign the year after. Al Golden, when he took over, he went 9-4 in 2013. You would have thought that things were trending up for this program, just for them to go 6-7 the year after. Then Mark Richt comes in, and Mark Richt came really close to being able to build off of a successful season. He went 9-4 in 2016, his first season. He won 10 games in 2017, lost in the ACC championship to Clemson. You were in the college football playoff rankings for a good majority of the year up until you lost to Pitt, and then the wheels just fell off in the title game against Clemson. And then right after that, Miami, they followed that up with a 7-6 campaign. Mark Richt steps down, and then in comes Manny Diaz, who at one point, he had the U looking pretty good. 8-3 during the COVID year, but then right after that, you didn't see no progress. It was 7-5, and then he gets replaced for Mario Cristobal. And Mario Cristobal had his most successful season up to this point as Miami's head coach, winning 10 games in 2024. He helped Cam Ward become the first overall pick of the draft. He was a Heisman finalist. But how successful Miami is this season is going to come down to if Mario can lead this program to that next step. Are you going to be able to be in the ACC championship game? Are you going to be a college football playoff team this year? That's what that next step is for the Miami Hurricanes. That's what a successful season for this program will look like in 2025. These last couple of head coaches that this program has been through, they always peak, and then they come right back down to reality. It's the new reality for Miami football. Actually, this team being on the national championship stage, are they actually going to be able to win this conference for the first time since they first entered? For as many years as Miami has been in the ACC, it still surprises me that they have yet to win at least once a conference title. That's what Miami has to do this season. That's what I would define as success for Miami. Even if you don't win the ACC, you want to see positive progression in the win column. I don't want to see a year where Mario Cristobal's bad clock management cost Miami games. You got the defense right with the hiring of Corey Heatherman, and you investing a lot of money into revamping this secondary. You have Carson Beck, who isn't Cam Ward, but the drop-off shouldn't be too bad. And if he plays well coming off that elbow injury, he should be right back in contention to be a first-round pick again, which makes Miami look even better, not just for recruits, but also for other quarterbacks in the transfer portal who can now view Miami as transfer portal U when it comes to QBs. You come to Miami, you ball out with the tailor-made situation, good receivers, a good offensive line, a really good OC and Shannon Dawson, and that can help boost up your draft stock. This season for Miami is a turning point for Mario Cristobal. If this program truly has found the way to break that ceiling and kick that door down, this is truly going to be the year that defines if Miami is going to be back and if they will ever be back. Maybe Miami fans have to come to a realization that this program is never going to be better than 10 wins max. Even with the amount of resources that you have, the amount of NIL money that you have to spend, maybe you're never going to be better than a 10-win team. Now, of course, you can say that always comes down to having the right head coach, which I would agree. But is Miami ever going to be able to hire the right head coach? Who knows? But this season is going to tell us a lot about Mario Cristobal and the direction that this program is heading, which the only path is forward. They say progress isn't always linear. Well, it has to be for Miami this year. There is no going back, because if you do, then you essentially will be repeating the same cycle that you've had out of your last 4 or 5 coaches. You need to see progression out of this program. Miami has to stop living off the 90s and the 2000s nostalgia. It is 2025. It's been 25 years and counting since Miami has really been viewed as a national title contender. And despite the amount of talent that they have, they still haven't separated the gap in the eyes of odds makers in Vegas when it comes to them and the rest of this conference outside of Clemson. They still are viewed in a box that they shouldn't be viewed in based off everything that they have from recruiting, an NIL standpoint. Miami should be way better than the results we've seen out of this team over the last decade. And Mario Cristobal, if he can finally get Miami past that point and they can actually build off that 10-win season, win 11 games, even if they don't make it to the conference championship, let's say they suffer a loss late season and that ultimately keeps them from making it to the ACC championship. If they can get into the playoffs, it changes the perception about Miami football moving forward, because now you're finally in the playoffs. It shows people that you no longer are just nostalgia. You actually have the ability to live up to expectation. You're not just all hype. And eventually, I feel that moment should come for Miami. They were saying that Texas would never be back, and they hired Steve Sarkisian, and boom, they're national title contenders again. Is Mario Cristobal that coach? This season is going to give us the answer to that question.